Well, hey there, everyone. It's been a while since I've been here. I know it's my habit. As soon as I turn on the dang on video, I put my hand up and it's showing crazy shit. Like the first thing. Looks like I'm crying all the time. I'm just squinting because of the sun or whatever. Um, I've been gone for a while, I know. That's why I was trying to get so much equipment because there was processes being done. And I got to a point in the process where I couldn't forgive the adults that did the things that ruined my whole life, right? Let's just be straight about it. It just ruined me. I've never been able to get over that. Never. So, and that's okay. I don't need to, right? I just have to live. We'll figure it out one day or another, and I don't have to forgive them, I don't have to forgive them. You don't do that to children. No matter how much shame you have to go tell someone, you better go get help, bruh, because you ruined a little innocent baby's life. That's all there is to it. There ain't no more shame than that, bruh. Go get some flipping help. Don't let shame stop you from hurting other human beings, especially the most innocent among us. Okay, now that I got that through, that felt good just to see. Yeah, I had some processes. That's why I wanted the equipment to show, because I went from 3 days of being totally calm, cool, and collected. Well, actually, no, the first day I went into deep depression because I couldn't take away what that is not human. Just don't think it's a natural human behavior to take advantage of the weakest among us or the most innocent, unknowing among us, right? So, yeah, I don't think that's a human behavior at all. Well, it is, but you have to set limits for yourself, bro. Bro, meaning man, woman, whatever the hell. That's just the way I talk. Like I said, I don't. If you make me mad, I have this West Bank accent. Usually, if I'm happy, it's just like this nice, mellow. Sometimes it gets real country. Um, I've always tried to fit in, like I said, so I really don't have an accent. Sometimes I use you guys all the time, sorta. I'm from the South. We don't say that shit here. It's just that I've been around people from so many walks of life that I pick up it. I pick it up, and that's fine, you know. Um, like brah, brah was around in my family way before it became popular. It's just that's the way we talk to each other. I don't know if that's because we have some American Indian or whatever, or native, but it was always brah, bruh, bruh, bruh. Um, there's no appropriation, right? When you the highest form of flattery is to impersonate someone. Shay, that better not be a snake. Leave it alone. So, yeah, you put black people and Irish people together, you got tap dancing. Stop with all this, it's mine and nobody else can have it. We share everything, whether we know it or not. Uh, like I have no accent until you make me mad, or I get around a bunch of country people and I get real country. I don't do it on purpose, it just happens. Um, right now it's yo and bro is my thing right now. I don't know why. That's just the way my brain's talking to me, I guess. I think it just goes back into eras. But anyway, yeah, I've done, like, the first day was totally, I couldn't get out of bed. I was crying all day. And then the next day, I took a deep breath, and I'm like, that's okay. You can't, that's just quit fretting over that. Because, see, I do go too deep into the analyzation. So I just took what I could. Like, I could wash the dishes, and I can cook a full meal. That was important to me, right? Because I started to lose the ability of having to cook out of boxes or cans, and I don't like that. I don't feel good when I eat like that. My body feels bad, so I try and do fresh or frozen. I don't have insurance, so it's not like I can have a high cholesterol and get help, right? I can't afford that medication, and I can't even go see a doctor, right? So I try and eat better. My problem is that I don't want to eat till late at night, and that's where that's where my problem comes in, because you don't do exercise. Everybody's sleeping, people have jobs, and you just can't do it that time of night. Not that I would exercise. Don't think I would. Walking around trying to figure out what I'm doing is enough exercise for me. That is so tiring and worn out because nothing gets accomplished. But yeah, I did like 3 days of really good, and then I can just see myself going back into that rambling, rumbling. But it's not a mad, it's not an anger. So I'm laughing about it now instead of being upset or trying to hide it. That does help. But yeah, just like a few days into it, and then I get real. That's why I wanted the cameras to see the emotions and the runarounds from being calm, being able to do something in one day, and then the second day it just tapers off, and then the third day it just tapers off, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And those are the things I want to show, because it will stop the stigmatism and the dogma of being ashamed about this. There's nothing to be ashamed about. That's just the way I have to function right now. And some days it's good and some days it's bad. And I have to accept that about myself. It's been pretty bad the last few days. Like we went shopping, I couldn't not talking to people. And they're like, yeah, and we're not even getting paid to be able to afford this. And they can't eat. I mean, they can't eat good. They can't eat fresh. It's impossible to find things that, like, how you gonna make lettuce, right? Or a potato, or it's ridiculous, the prices, man. It doesn't do that. And then they want to stop you from doing your own home garden in some places, right? We're pretty good here, but in some places they want to stop you from doing your garden or planting or anything, and force you to buy these outrageous things that don't cost a nickel but to produce. They got machines to pick it up. They ain't even paying people anymore, and not that they paid them anything anyway. That's what I'm saying. Right now they have people so strapped and scared and fighting each other. They're making laws to make your kids 14, 13. They know the statistics that children will quit school and not get an education. You know, and we're talking a small education. Now, we're not even talking an education, go to college or junior college. We talking get right in there to them coal mines. Yeah, how about working that pizza oven that's above your head? You know, they got you so strapped, they're going to pay your children less for the same job you're doing, if not nastier, right? Because adults don't want to do that. They just doing this to you, man. And you're letting them. We're all letting them. Because we're starving. And we're strapped. And we don't have time. And this, they know. That's the predator in them. They know as long as we're scrapping each other for any little bit, one little pea or a piece of friggin' coconut husk, then they ain't got to worry about their lifestyle and all the trouble they have with lawsuits and court dates because they broke the law. Yep, they can hide all that because they have us fighting for them. Those who have lawyers and money to get out of everything. And we sitting back here fighting each other, guys. This is what I want to get out there. We have always lived together, no matter what we've believed or what have you, right? There was never a segregation in that in my lifetime until now, right? It may have started in the 70s, but I was kind of young, so I didn't see the segregation. But here in the last since there's been disasters everywhere, they take advantage of that. Because people in disasters are in survival mode. My brain kicked into survival mode, and it's been there for 17 years, and I did a lot of damage to other people emotionally. That's because I couldn't figure it out, and that's wrong of me, and I see that now, and I just want to point it out to everybody. We have always, always, always lived together without a whole slaughter of one people. And then when they see we work together, like reference Tower of Babel, don't make no sense to me. The whole thing is to worship this being. We all work together to try and get to this being, and then he strikes us down. So that's what they're doing. Don't you see? It's not like it actually happened. It was a story that they turned into for their being, at least in my mind, for this being to be able to separate people and make it okay to hurt each other. And powers of money that don't want to get out of power will feed that. You know, it's their sickness. We have a lot of powerful people who are sick. Like I said, you don't want to be president unless you have a big ego. Just the way it is. Being that I lived through the not knowing and just watching family life, and then the drastic change of eras, right, of people who take power and do unlawful things because they think they're above the law, because we're so worried about what they might think about the whole institution that we let bad actors get in there and gunk up the works. Stop doing it, man. Don't let them draw you into this. We have to work together because they're not doing their job. So we need to drop them. Do your voting or whatever. Vote for who you want. Just be an active citizen. Make sure you do your research, right? Because most of us agree on a lot of things. It's just that we start drawing battle lines. Tired of battle lines. I walked around with a boulder on my damn shoulder from the age of 3 to the age of... I still carry a boulder. What the hell am I talking about? So yeah, the channel's going to start moving because I did have a few days to study interviews, because I want to keep it very basic I want to push all the labels and names, and if we're going to use president, I don't want to hear about you complaining, because I wouldn't have picked Joe Biden either. Okay, so that's just the only choice I felt I had. I don't want to know all that, right? I want to know, like, if you want to use something like the Obama era, the Reagan era, the Johnson era, that's fine. Keep your religion out of it, keep everything, because we have always not believed in the very same thing. Even people that say they're this, when they go into their home, open that door, close it, they fulfill what they believe. That's okay. That's what freedom is. Nothing's wrong with that. We need to quit fighting about it. It's ignorant. Listen, I ain't calling nobody out. I'm just as wrong as everybody else. I don't think anyone's right in this situation, because none of us have power, and we're attacking other people with no power. I said incels, I before they were shooting up things and macing women, I would see them young men, not children, men, and be very totally quiet and silent, and I would take them in and show them things and give them the respect they need, and the okay to be them, and not what they was told it was supposed to be or how it's supposed to happen. They don't know, because they never had the experience. So they should be able to practice and gain knowledge. And nobody to this day knows about one of them that I did this with. Not for, with. Like I said, I'm not a bigot. I can't. I love to have intimate relations with many or little, as long as you're an adult and it's your free will, you know. There's nothing to be ashamed about that. There's someone out there for you, right? We don't express how we feel, what we want, and then we take this partner that we think we have and we try and bend them to that. Just if you were more open and honest, y'all can talk about it and maybe figure it out before you invest all this time that, hey, we're just good friends, you know, and now we know and we can move on. We don't have to obsess about it. And we can find someone more like us because there's someone out there, you know, there's someone out there that looks like a child but is an adult. Find them. Express that this is your way. Don't mess with children, bro. Fucking don't. They will never, ever recuperate from that. Never. It will affect every damn waking and sleeping moment of their life. It's not why I came here to talk, right? No, I'm trying to tell you my process and where I'm at. So I did a few days of what I could. Now I'm getting back to can't do anything. So it's helped me talking to the camera and all. No, I'm not talking to myself here. I'm talking to others in this one. I'm not processing this myself. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to others, man. You know who the hell you are. Don't be ashamed. Get help. You ruin a whole other human being's life. I would have rather had fucking leukemia, bro. A board with no freaking tongue. You don't understand. I need to get off of this because it's really ticking me off. So, let's see. You can hear the birds around here, right? They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. And I noticed that, like, the 2 days I was getting a little angry, you know, just being out and pointing out situations in life that are just ridiculous as they're making billions of dollars. And they keep going up on everything. Only because, you know, there was some progress of getting people, nurses are making the same amount of money and working 4 more hours, bro. This is ridiculous from in the 80s. You can't blame this generation. Get the hell off of them. They're going to live the worst until their children are born and have to compete with AI and upgrades, human upgrades that they can't afford. Get the hell off of them, man. You're making them heroin addicts. You're making them fentanyl addicts. Back the hell up. These are adults trying to live in this crazy ass world that all of a sudden one sect of people think that they have the answer. You don't. You have the answer for you. That's it. You have the answer for you and how you want to live and the people around you that want to live like that. That's all. Back the hell up and let these adults make adult decisions that aren't shameful and they won't abuse the tools that are out there. It's that simple. Why does one word have so many definitions? Because every generation, meanings and words change. Nothing new here, people. Nothing new. It just seems like there's a burst of these other people LGBTQ because we finally have a safe place. We have always been here before any civilization was put together from the beginning of time. And quit being a wounded alpha. You're being a wounded alpha, people. Boomers control almost every state house and every lawmaker. Boomers. Retire. Let the young people decide their future for their children. You and the great-grandchildren now, baby. Back up, retire. I don't care who the hell you think you are. Mentor someone and let them take your spot, or let them run for office in a free and fair election. One person, one vote. It's that simple. We know how to count, people. We don't need a machine. Will it take longer? Yeah. Voting should take a week. You know why? Because some people work 7 days a week. And if they take off, they can't go vote because they may lose their job, so they can't take off. They're doing this on purpose. When I first started voting, I walked into my voting precinct. They didn't know whether I was a Democrat, a Republican, a liberal, or a progressive. They knew nothing. All they knew was my name, my age, and my address. That's all they needed to know. So now they know everything. I walk in there, I got to sign in on a Democrat or a Republican sheet. They even drop liberal and progressive, right? They didn't even put that in there because they just want two sides like football games. It's just the person, the best team that won that day. That's all. A mistake, a surprise play, same thing, luck. A lot of it's skill. You got the money to buy all the people to have the skill to do it. Yeah, it feels like I'm on drugs sometimes. Get white things on my mouth gets real dry, and my eyes get real wide, and it's why I don't like to go out in public, because it does look like I'm on dope. Especially when I get happy, like I spoke with this lady and she recognized me from 3 weeks ago, and she's like, "How you doing?" And I couldn't picture whether I knew her from a long time ago or from whatever, so I just started repeating everything I've been doing. And then I remember where I met her at, and that was at the little consignment shop in that little L thing by McDonald's, right? She's the one that gave me the idea about maybe getting shop owners that are having trouble and putting a bubblegum machine there with their products of that little L shape, and give them the whole 25% as the gumball machine moves. And that way the whole shop owners can have 25% of that until they can get up on their feet and give to the community. What we do have isn't working. It isn't working for anyone but big box stores or someone who has a lot of money in the bank to keep up. So I want to change that. We can. Simple. We don't need, as long as we do it legal, we don't need the higher ups to tell us, oh, this, that, or the other. Like, the whole time I want to go in this business, they're like, what, how much will you make? And how this, and how that, and how this, and how that. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish here. I don't want to make $1 million. I want to make enough to get some teeth, some glasses, and buy fresh food. That's it. I want to be able to help people in that process as I'm getting and helping myself. I want to take the 25% and give to the shop owner, and 5% and 15% to the community. So we can do small eco-friendly businesses that maybe someone like me can handle. Just 2 beds of worms. That you have dirt, you have fishing, You have just all around goodness, right? So instead of doing 18 beds and, just maybe 4 people can do it and collaborate together and just give a little bit back to the community fund. I don't want 5% from them. You're not going to make much. If it's 50 cents off of their profit, I'm fine with that. As long as it goes back in there so we can buy more things for other people to try. I would love, I wanted to, grandiose ideas, right? I wanted to roll out with a bunch of machines everywhere. And I wanted the equipment to document my ups and downs of every day. Some days I can do things, some days I can't. Some days run consecutive to where I can do things, and some days run consecutive to where I can't. I think that needs to be shown because of stigmatisms, and now I'm even letting the mannerisms come out because it does make me feel better. It's a lot easier not trying to hide them. I don't care if you think I'm on dope anymore. I'm not. I know this. I can pass any test you give me. Like I said, people, I have trouble taking an Advil. I've just been lucky to be allergic to these things and to have jobs that made me not do these things, right? Because I wanted a house and a car and stability. That's all. I didn't want a mansion. I don't care for a lawn. I really don't. I think it's naked and it's unnatural grass that shouldn't be there. Like I said, my mom would pull over on Barataria Boulevard and we'd go to her uncle's old dairy farm when there was nothing there at the time. And we would pick whole salads and seasonings to bring home. Some of it was wild onion and garlic and parsley, but not all of it. And I don't know what it was. I know there were dandelions. She would eat all the thistle. I don't know, I forget what they're called, but they're edible too. I just don't remember how she did it. Because then it became loaded with buildings and stuff, and it wasn't there anymore. Everything's concrete again. But we used to do all that. So, yeah, I want to try and do that with the channel too. Find out what our native species are that we can use in our kitchen. I want to demonstrate that, and I want people to come along with me, and we'll go on the hunt, because right now is blackberry season. Without having the goats, they're popping back up in my yard. That's a good thing. I love that. I hated to have to fight with the goats for my blackberries. They almost destroyed them all, but they're coming back because I do overgrow my yard. I used to have to fight my big chocolate lab for them. She'd see me picking blackberries and she'd be like, oh no, she's coming. So she'd go out and just pinch the blackberry off the bush and never get stuck. And we would have a race on who can get the blackberries. She was funny. Good dog. But get off of here because I do have to do some dishes and get some food out. Well, I have the food out to cook. I have the meat marinating right now. But I just wanted to touch base again. It's been a while since I've been back. But yeah, I'm studying interviews so I can do it correctly, hopefully. I'll probably not remember a thing once I get there, but I will have the knowledge of other interviews in my head that my brain will use. I know this. It's like a file system. Hopefully my secretary won't be too overexhausted at that point in my head. Remember, these voices are actually people in my head, but they're the same person. They just split off. They have their own autonomy. But yeah, I hear a lot of people, and they're expressing it, and I'm proud of them when I'm out in public. This lady's like, this is as far as I can go right now. This is what I can do. I don't feel good. Nothing's making sense to me, and this is what I can do. And I'm proud. She was at work. She said that. That's cool, man. That's cool that she can do that. You wasn't able to do that before. You were considered weak and we don't need you. So something's going on. People will see it. That there has to be change now. Um, I don't want all these kids, you're making them do dope, man. It's hard. It's hard to live. You got to make it easier for them. They have no hope. You lose hope, that other little voice you'll never hear again. So I want to pay attention to that little voice in everybody. I'm going to go around and I'm going to interview anybody that wants to talk. Give an anecdote they see in life that really worked out. Be like, oh, well, I remember this, being told this at 17. And, I've seen it happen this time. I'm not trying to get rid of what you know. Not trying to convert nobody. I'm just trying to wipe out the lines that we've drawn for each other and accept people for who they are, as long as they're not hurting no one. Like I said, you can have mistakes and accidents, but if you don't admit it to yourself, then you'll keep repeating the mistakes or accidents. And in the meantime, you leave a wake of brutality behind you. And I think all of us are doing that, and I'd like to stop. I'd like to be able to live with all y'all again and not feel so offended. You're you and I am me. There's no reason to be offended. I'm not forcing the way I live on you, and you're not. You need to stop trying to force the way you live on others. We have to work together. We have to go to meetings together. We don't have to go behind the same bedroom door together. So just or the same house door. We're gonna be okay, guys. We just gotta put the boulders down. Stand beside them instead of on top of them. Because the boulder on my shoulder was just as heavy as me getting on that boulder to scream out my pain. I find once, and I use rocks. Rocks are my thing. I don't want a polished rock. They're pretty. Rocks are my thing. I don't know why I connect with rocks. But rocks are alive to me. And not because you paint a face on them, just their rawness and their feel. And the thought they have been here for eons. What were they before? Were they always a rock? It's a good question, But yeah, I feel rocks. I will be walking and all of a sudden look down and there's a rock. Sometimes it's just a broken pebble. Sometimes it's it's all beautiful. Everything in this world. I want to get back to it. I want to make it beautiful again. With us in it. That's the thing. We're only here for a short time, people. Not very long. Maybe 100 years if you're lucky and you have health insurance. Or you have good genetics. Or you haven't come in contact with a chemical, or your neighborhood hasn't been polluted because you don't make money. Those are all factors in life that everybody forgets about, that them people may have been through, or it's just you need to take a walk in everybody's soles of their feet. Drop all the boxes and names that we give things in this generation and listen. Live together. Respect each other. I love y'all, and love yourself, man. Hang in there. We're going to get it through this.